Hello, I'd like to welcome you today for another video. It's not a live stream. This is a bit more of a serious kind of talk. I want to talk to you about something that I noticed on my YouTube channel yesterday, and it's all got to do with copyright. Now, when I woke up this morning, I noticed something on my channel when I checked my YouTube studio. I normally do. It's normally one of the first things I do just to check progress and see how the channel's going, because it is growing. The content that we're doing is actually getting some views. So if you've been around and you've been viewing and you have subscribed from one of these videos, thank you very much. And if you haven't subscribed and you're watching this, please consider. Honestly, it's down there. It's down there. But anyway, we'll get to the point, right? So I did a bunch of covers yesterday on the drums. I did a bunch of drum covers, and I got copyright striked for that. Not striked, sorry. I got copyright claimed, right? I didn't get copyright striked, I got copyright claimed. Now, the claim isn't the problem, right? I don't own the rights to the music that I was covering yesterday, right? Any of the other songs that you do hear on the channel, I own the rights to. I have made them. All the beats, all of the Alive Like a, can't say that word, songs, they've all been written by me, mixed and mastered and recorded by me. But yesterday, it kind of perplexed me, right? Because I did drum covers. I didn't remake a full song. I didn't, I feel like where I went wrong, though, was I used stem separation to separate stems from songs that I had bought myself. I own the physical CDs to the tracks you heard yesterday. These are physical CDs that I have ripped onto the computer myself, that I do not share with anybody because it's my own personal music collection. I am a musician myself, and I don't believe in sharing music like that. Right, I'm not just going to give it away, right? Like, I do believe that music should be paid for, right? And I'm willing to pay for the music. I'm going to use it as such. I wasn't intending to steal or try and rip off or make a playlist or anything like that. But the video got blocked in a couple of countries, and I'm really perplexed why. Because I covered, and I'll name these artists, I really, really don't care, because you can take 100% of nothing. I make nothing off YouTube. So it really doesn't matter to me. You can take me on, because what are you going to take? 100% of nothing? Thank you very much. Take it. Very much take it. So I covered Prince. I covered Audioslave. I covered Michael Jackson. They were the three artists that copyright claimed me and blocked me. The other two artists that didn't do that were Nirvana and the Red Hot Chili Peppers. To be honest, my boys, right there. If you're watching, Anthony, Flea, whatever, thank you for not copyright claiming me on that and taking it down. They did copyright claim it, but they didn't block it. That's where the confusion comes in, right? Because you've got a couple of artists here that don't want you to hear covers. And you've got other artists here that say, yeah, covers are okay, we're just going to chuck ads on it and you'll be fine, mate. Which is perfectly fine, because I do not own the rights to this music, but I love playing it and I love listening to it. But the problem that we've got here is that there is a bunch of artists that don't see it that way. They don't want people covering their music. They don't even want people talking about their music. I've had to research this. I'm not even joking. It's absolutely insane. You've got people like Bryan Adams, Prince is listed here again, the Arctic Monkeys, Bob Dylan, Kanye, Taylor Swift, Adele, Linkin Park, DragonForce. You've got some people saying you can't even mention the Beatles on a YouTube video without getting a takedown or something like that. Well, I've just mentioned all of them, and I honestly don't care. Call it out for what it is. Because the matter of the fact is, right, kids today aren't listening to Prince. They're not listening to the Beatles. They're not listening to Bryan Adams. So how are they going to find out about these artists unless young people and younger creators like myself talk about them? But you won't let us talk about them. You won't even let us cover them. So these kids are never going to hear that music because they're never going to seek it. There's already enough music for these kids, right? They already make music for themselves. So how are you going to drag in another audience? Like how? Soon your music is going to be the same as, and I hate saying it like this, but like Mozart and Beethoven. People aren't actively listening to that today, right? That's not popular music. Yes, it's studied in classes and stuff like that, and it's historical and it's important to music itself. I very much understand that. But the kids aren't listening to that, and you guys weren't listening to that in the 80s. So you kind of get what I mean. You're not going to drag in an audience for these other kids. I've also heard that Guns N' Roses, which I was really, really surprised, hate covers. They hate covers too. But there's a big problem with that, right? Because covers aren't explicitly evil. Like, people don't do covers with the intent of stealing from the original artist. They do these covers because they love that artist and they love that song and they love that music, and they probably learn how to play it themselves just to show people or just to learn an instrument. I know people that have learnt guitar just because of one song. You know what I mean? And they only know how to play that one song. But that's the issue. So if people can't express themselves with the music that they love, that's a problem, isn't it? Especially when not everyone that plays guitar writes music. You know what I mean? Some people that play guitar just play guitar. Not everyone's like me, where they sit and they write music and they release albums and stuff like that, where they play original music. No, some people are just happy sitting and playing Hotel California by the Eagles on their couch or in front of the camera just for a little YouTube audience on their acoustic guitar. But that's at major risk of being taken down by some of these so-called artists. I don't even want to call them artists, because how is it art if you don't want to share it? You know what I mean? How is it art if only you can play it? You know what I mean? Like, come on. Like, it's music. It should be for everyone, right? It should be for everyone. Mind you, one of the biggest artists that people tell you to stay away from covering and even talking about are the Beatles. But yours truly, I think I may have gotten away with it, because with my Tascam video where I was talking about recording on the 4-track cassette recorder, I recorded a bunch of Beatles covers, 10 songs to be honest. I released 3 videos where I called it the Alas Beatles EP, right? It was those 10 songs. I had a digital version, I had a Type 1 cassette version, and I had a Type 2 cassette version. All of those videos are still up and you can still watch them right now. As a matter of fact, I'll put them in the link below so you can watch them, right? You can still watch that original Tascam video as well. Those were all original covers by me, no stem separation, right? I did the bass, I did the guitars, I did the drums, I did the vocals all by myself. I mixed it to sound like the Beatles did back then. I mixed everything in mono. Right? The drums are in mono, the guitars are in mono, everything's in mono, so it's mixed like an old 60s record to sound the same. I still got copyright claimed, but they didn't take it down. So I don't know. Maybe the Beatles have caught on to the fact that you need people to share this kind of content so that you have another audience. Because people are going to watch videos like this and be like, oh, well, the Beatles seem kind of cool. Let's go check them out because a guy my age is speaking about them. All right, I'm not Rick Beato. All right, and that's no shame on Rick Beato, but Rick Beato's in his 60s, right? So there aren't really many kids that are going to respect him. Kids respect what they know, right? And what they know is what's right in front of them, what's here and now, the music that they make, the people that they watch online. Like I said, they're not going to take Rick Beato reminiscing about the Beatles seriously, as much as they might take someone like me or someone younger doing the same thing, saying, oh, this Beatles song is the absolute bomb. Like, honestly, you should check it out. You should sample it. Maybe you could do a couple of tricks and make a cool beat out of this. You don't have many people doing that for that kind of music. All right? So let me show you what I'm talking about here. So as you can see here, this is for the Beatles one. We do have a claim from the Beatles here for the Taxman, right? Content type, melody, which is perfectly fine. I covered the song, and yes, I used the melody. The Beatles actually detected this. But this is where it confuses me, because I've got here Can't Buy Me Love, and it's claimed by the Beatbox. Or how about here? It thinks it's a live version of Help, and it's claimed by the Beatles revival band. Or what about Day Tripper? Twist and Shout? Or what about I Wanna Hold Your Hand? Sing-along version. It's not a sing-along. Abbey Road Players. Right, the only ones that they got right were the Ballad of John and Yoko, claimed by the Beatles, and A Hard Day's Night, claimed by the Beatles. But they obviously still think it's a live version. You got to Hide Your Love Away. The Buddha Lounge Ensemble. What? She Loves You. Re-Beatles. Do you see the problem here? Right? My songs are not even being... Half of these songs are not even being claimed by the actual artists themselves. All right, this is actually a very, very big issue if YouTube is very serious about the way that they go about their content ID and making sure that the royalties go to the right artist. Because like I said, I don't own the rights to this song. I have no right to claim any royalty for what I cover. And I'm okay with that. I just want to share it, right? I just want to share the cover because I love the music. But not even... No, the artist isn't even getting the money, right? Here's one from my live stream the other day where I got content ID'd for a sample and it's only the first 10 seconds of the song where I have a guitar sample and I've checked this song. They have the same guitar sample, but it's been slowed down. I paid for my sample out of a Cymatic pack, just like they probably did. And they claim that first 10 seconds. They couldn't claim the rest of the song because it's all original. And after the first 8 bars of that song, the beat comes in. The beat comes in with that sample behind it, and they couldn't claim that because it's got a different bass line and it's got a different beat and it's in a different tempo. That's what I mean about original. They could only claim that sample, and I've challenged this. I've disputed this. Right, I've disputed this because it's a sample, but I'm not going to play that song ever again on my YouTube. And once this is over, if I lose this, I'm probably just going to trim out that first 10 seconds because it doesn't matter anyway. All right, it was just the beginning of the song. But again, you see what I mean, right? I don't know. This is some guy from bloody Bangladesh. This is the drum cover one that I was talking about though, right? So we got the visibility here. Can't be seen in some territories. And as you can see, the only ones that are cool are Lithium and the Red Hot Chili Peppers. The claim doesn't affect. Everything else, Thriller, Like a Stone, and Prince, Let's Work, it's all messed up. It's all messed up. And one thing you will notice too, one thing that is a theme going on here is the record labels, right? So SME is Sony Music Entertainment and WMG is Warner Music Group, right? Warner Music Group used to be cool, but I kind of understand why Prince went after them so hard back in the days because of shit like this. So it's the same. With Audioslave, Sony Music Group. And with Michael Jackson, it's the same as well. Sony Music Group. So I'm assuming that anyone under Sony Music Group or Warner, you just don't want to touch, right? But it doesn't make sense because the Chili Peppers are with Warner Music Group as well. So it must be artist specific. It has to be artist specific. There is no way that this can't be artist specific. We'll check Nirvana as well. UMG on behalf of so that's David Geffen. So Universal, I think, is still under the same sort of arm as Sony or whatever. They're all together. But anyway, Nirvana seems cool. The Red Hot Chili Peppers seem cool. And here's just one thing I wanted to point out. This is one of my older live streams from like a week or two ago where we were playing the movies. Now, I get content ID'd for these movies ones as well because of the music that plays in the video game. And you'll notice all of these songs that played over the duration of that video. But you will not see a single content, like it's not blocked. It says it doesn't affect. See details, all that sort of stuff. You can see it's the same guy the whole way. Every single time with the movies, it's the same guy. So you can tell that they've actually catalogued their collection properly and they're IDing it properly. But they let me use the content. There's no problem with using that content. There is absolutely no problem with that. So you see the issue here. It seems very artist specific because you've got artists from the exact same record labels or under the same umbrellas. Some of them let you do covers and others don't. And others don't. And honestly, I don't understand why. If you are one of those artists and you do happen to stumble across this video, maybe rethink that, because you are missing out on a younger audience. You are missing out on kids being able to learn your songs by watching someone play a cover of it, instead of having to watch some video from the 80s that's VHS, RIP, 2K upscaled. You can barely see the bloody fingers playing the guitar. So, yeah, that's really my rant on the problem with the YouTube copyright strike system and how artists abuse it and how artists really abuse their fans. Because that's what it is at the end of the day. It really feels like a disregard for the people that love your music. Nothing more, nothing less. No one wants to steal your money. No one wants to steal your creative rights or anything like that. I'm pretty sure the horrible drum covers that I played are not going to infringe on your millions of dollars that you were going to get. And probably the 2 cents that you're probably going to get by chucking ads on the video instead of blocking it. So thank you very much, those artists that I mentioned. I'm not scared of you. Nobody should be scared of you. All right, I want to quote George Harrison here, and it's probably not going to be a good quote, but I'm going to quote him anyway. I never want to be afraid of picking up my guitar and thinking I'm playing someone else's note. Okay? I don't want to strum a chord and be afraid of getting a copyright strike because that chord was in a Prince song. All right, because that's absolutely ridiculous. I don't want to get a copyright strike because I used the same chord progression as a Bryan Adams song. All right, that's absolutely ridiculous. I took it probably a bit further than I should, but we needed to talk about this because it affects all of us. It affects anyone that likes music, anyone that wants to create music online, anyone that wants to make content like me. It affects you. It affects you too. So, yeah. Honestly, tell me what you think about this in the comments. I really, really want to know. If you think I'm wrong, if you think I'm talking out of my ass, tell me. Let's have a discussion, because this really needs to be a discussion. Let's drive it up. Let's make this a proper discussion. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that jazz. I've been Mickey. You guys have been awesome. I'll see you guys next time.